Hello there, this is Earl Bryant coming at you from the New York City suburbs of Long Island, and it is time once again for Pearls from Earl, where it is my mission to educate, edify, and encourage excellence in every area of your life. Today's Pearl is simply called Make Sure the Company That You Keep Keeps You. This is inspired by something I went through several years ago when I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, attending a church where the men of the church decided to have a weekly boot camp during the winter time to help us men get in shape or to stay in shape. And at that time, I was in very bad shape physically. I was a whole lot larger than I am right now. In fact, I would get winded going a flight of stairs. I couldn't stand for long periods. And one of my most humiliating moments during that time in my life was the day that I went on a field trip with my son in his 5th grade year in the foothills of North Carolina. And I was to chaperone 4 kids, which was my son and 3 of his friends. And what was really humiliating and embarrassing for me was that every time we went up hills, they had to wait at the top of the hill for me to catch up because I couldn't keep up with them. I was out of breath, I was winded, I was exhausted, and I could barely move, and my heart was pounding like a jackhammer. I was in such bad shape. Well, that was one of the reasons that I signed up for this boot camp with the other men in my church. And when I say boot camp, I do literally mean a boot camp. It was military style. We went through different drills and different exercises, and we built up camaraderie and did these different things as a team. And remember, this was wintertime. This was around January when it started, and the weather was pretty cold and wet and damp outside. And we were out there in the elements. We did everything outdoors. And one of the things that I remember from that boot camp experience, which was about 8-week boot camp, toward the end of each session, we had a run around the high school track. And I can't remember the number of laps that we went, but I do remember going around the track, and I was struggling, and I was scuffling, and I was having trouble keeping up, and I was having trouble keeping pace. I was gasping for breath. I could barely keep it together. But what impressed me the most about that situation was that a couple of the men in the church who had finished the run ahead of me saw me struggling and saw me scuffling, and they came back onto the track as I was doing my last few laps and struggling or getting around the track. And they literally stayed with me, and they encouraged me every single step while I was struggling, while I was scuffling, while I was gasping for air. They stayed with me, they encouraged me, they kept me going, they kept me focused, they kept telling me that I could do it. Just take another step, just take one more step, take one more step. They told me I was doing fine, and the whole time I was struggling and scuffling and sweating and having trouble getting around with my heart pounding in my chest and having trouble breathing. They managed to get me through it, even when I was carrying all that extra weight on my frame, and it was a whole lot more weight than I had a right to be carrying. I was really in bad shape. But the thing that impressed me the most was that they worked as hard as they could, and they stayed with me every step on that track until I finished the last lap. And when I finished that final lap, they gave me a pat on the back, they gave me a hug, they gave me a high five, they congratulated me, and they encouraged me. And not a single man got on my case for being slow or for not being able to keep up, and they didn't embarrass me and they didn't humiliate me. They just congratulated me for getting it done. And I can say honestly, in that situation, I had some people with me who helped me, who kept me going, who kept me focused, and they kept me in the game, and they kept me going until I was able to complete the course. Now, the reason I bring that up is because you don't realize in a lot of cases how important it is to have a support system, to have people on your team, in your corner, who've got your back. If you've ever been in a situation in your life where you feel like you have to do it on your own, you might think that having a support system really doesn't matter, it really isn't all that important, but that's really just you lying to yourself, because you're telling yourself it doesn't matter and that support system is just a bunch of hogwash and it doesn't mean anything. But the main reason you're saying that to yourself is because you don't have that support and you have someone telling you, well, just do it on your own, just figure it out all by yourself, you know what to do, just go ahead and do it. In fact, there are some people in the home business industry, and some of you looking at me right now might know about this, where you've had someone say to you, well, you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And then you sign the dotted line, you get involved, and you ask for help. And then those same people turn on you and say, well, when you prove yourself worthy by doing certain things by yourself first, then I'll come and help you. And that is not the support that you were promised. But believe me when I tell you, I've been on both sides. I've been with support, I've been without support. I can tell you it makes a big difference having that support. And one of the definitions of the word keep is to preserve. People who are keeping you are preserving you. They're preserving your health, they're preserving your sanity, they're preserving your well-being. And they do it with encouragement. They cheer you on, they're in your corner, they've got your back, they congratulate you, they celebrate your victories, they don't take your accomplishments lightly. No accomplishment is too small. Every single achievement that you accomplish, every single objective that you reach, every single goal that you attain, everything you set out to do that you get done, it's celebrated as if you won some sort of a title, a championship. Every small win is a big win, and none of them are taken for granted. Yolanda Adams has said this on many occasions. You go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. The people who celebrate you, who celebrate every triumph that you have, no matter how small, those are the people that are keeping you, those are the people that are supporting you, and those are the people who have your back. So I'm telling you, if you don't have people like that in your life, do what you can to find those people, and more important than that, become that to someone else. Because as the saying goes, a man who would have friends must first show himself friendly. So if you want to have a support system, become one. And that way you will be sure that the company that you keep keeps you. And that is today's Pearl from Earl. It is my hope that you got some value out of what you just heard. And if you did, please do me the honor of giving me a like or a thumbs up. And don't be stingy. Please share this message with people that you believe can benefit from the information that you have just heard. I have had the privilege and the honor of linking up with people who have provided a support system for me. They have helped me keep my sanity. They've helped me stay focused. They've kept me encouraged. They don't allow me to get down on myself. And they treat every single small win that I have achieved like it was a major triumph. And in that sense, they really have been. They have met me every step of the way. Once I took the first step, they met me on the second step, and they are still traveling with me today, and they're helping me, and they're encouraging me, and they're supporting me, and they are keeping me, because I keep company with the right people who keep me going and keep me focused and keep me determined to succeed. If you believe these are the type of people that you need in your life to keep you and preserve you and protect you and encourage you and celebrate you, then I encourage you to click on the link that I have included below this video. You'll have an opportunity to meet them firsthand and find out just what kind of a support system they can be for you. In fact, you can take a 10-day risk-free test drive for $10 so you can find out what kind of support network they can be for you. They can show you tips and strategies to keep you focused on your goals and to help you to succeed in whatever it is that you're doing in your life. And if what they offer is not your cup of tea, before the 10 days are up, you can get your refund, no questions asked. But at the very least, you'll have the opportunity to find out about a support system and a support network that will help you every step of the way as you work toward the achievement of your goals. This has been another Pearl from Earl. It has been my privilege and my honor to share this with you. And until the next time when we gather around for another Pearl from Earl, when I hope to see you right back out there, this is Earl Bryant signing off from the New York City suburbs of Long Island, saying take care, be well, be blessed and not stressed, and make it a great and productive day. Bye for now.